Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for post-match reaction following Celtic 0, Kairat Almaty 0 tonight in the UEFA Champions League playoff. And I'm just going to say it how it is. I've been a season ticket holder for 5.5 years, and that is the worst performance I have ever seen at Celtic Park. Spineless, gutless from the players, the manager, and the board. And I've held back the whole summer. And I've sat there, and me and Alistair were on the channel, and we've sat there, and we've tried to look at things to get us by this game, and we've underplanned yet again, year after year after year. I am sick to the death of us underplanning for Champions League playoff games. Alistair, I said on the post-match reaction, by the way, we've got Nathan and Alistair before I go after another
Thank you.
Alistair, we said on the match preview, are we ready? The answer was in black and white tonight. We won it. It was a shambles.
I'll be honest, guys, we were lucky not to lose the game.
A better team would have took 4 or 5 off us tonight.
Yeah, definitely. But absolutely can't disagree with anything you said there. But you know what got me? I wish I was shocked because it was an absolute shambles. That front three were always going to come back and bite us, and it did. In the biggest game of the season. And the fact is, we'd nothing to come off the bench to bring on to change it. That's what happens when you underprepare.
Aye. Nathan's got a big cheese on the bottom of the screen here. I think he's at that stage of the coping mechanism. Nathan, I say to you, and we've been got to football for a few years. I mean, and you know what I'm like, I'm not shouting and balling, but see towards the end of that game, I didn't even know it. I couldn't be asked. Honestly, it was terrible.
Aye. But I mean, I don't think I've ever screamed as loud as I actually screamed.
Aye. You know it's bad when Nathan starts screaming. You know it's bad when Nathan starts screaming. That's what I would say.
And my personal favourite was fucking move.
I'm pretty sure the stewards fucking shat themselves with that one, but to be fair, I'm at the stage now where I knew it was going to happen anyway. Like, you don't play about you don't gamble 40 million. I like a bet, right? But there's times where you don't bet, and yeah, today was one of them. But to be honest, I actually hope that I can never say them Kairat or whatever. Kairat, right? I hope they actually go through because we don't deserve it at all. We can't keep being entitled to, well, we're Celtic, we should get through, but we're not good enough.
Alistair, we always say that's a good point because we always say we are a big European club, we just don't act like it. And there's another
big European club.
We're a big European club in terms of stature. There's a difference between being a big European club and acting like a big European club. We don't act like one. We're a big European club in terms of history and our potential as a European club in the Champions League. We could be, but the problem is that potential is not being realised by charlatans in the board, dinosaurs that just don't want to take this club forward. We'll go on to the board in a minute because we want to go through the match, but Alistair, that is the point. Here's another prime example of Celtic not acting like a big European club.
The thing is, I don't get why, as a business, you would behave like this. Because we're not even spending the money that we've got in for those players. We're not talking about spending the money in the bank. We're not even spending the money we got for Kuhn, the money we got for Frimpong, the money we got for Lager Bielka. It's just an absolute shambles, and the disdain that the club is treating the supporters with. And I was glad tonight the fans started chanting sack the board because it's been coming for years. Let's not call a spade here. We've been successful in spite of this board, not because of them.
No, that's a good point because I've seen that point from opposite other Scottish supporters of other clubs. Oh well, how can you moan because you've won X, Y, and Z? We've won X, Y, and Z because without this board, if you've got a lot of money, the problem is our potential as a club is not just. Don't get me wrong, brilliant win domestic, and that's as the phrase goes, bread and butter. But does that mean you just neglect our European potential? Of course it's not. Of course you don't. We seen last season what we could do in Europe when we invest a bit of money, and then we get this served up, and then we get that served up. Come on, man. No, I'm sorry. It's feeble. It's not doing your job right. It's feeble. In terms of the game, Nathan, obviously, even the game, I mean, the players, and this is what it's not just all the board's fault. At the end of the buck stops at their front door, but we'll go into it in a minute. But the players' attitude stunk. I'm going to be honest with you, stunk. Every single one of them.
I mean, I come to the point where even those players on the park are good enough to beat Kairat. Like, I just that's
Really,
that.
no.
Aye, but clearly they're not, but they should be because they're European players, if you want to call them that. But I mean, one point I would like to make that I think a lot of people are missing out is see when you're bringing on players like Shin Yamada and all that. Like these players aren't good enough for the standard that we are playing at just now. They could be good enough in the future. They're not good enough. Bringing in all these £1 million players isn't going to get you through into the Champions League. I mean, my God, I feel sorry for the players actually. Some of them at least. Feel sorry for them because they're just not at the level. You can clearly see that.
And that's what I said. I says some of the players need help.
Yeah.
Need help. You know, that's the problem. I looked and you talked there about, you know, the level. Now, I am not expecting Celtic to go and spend £40 million. I'm not expecting that. Right? But I looked at Club Rouge when we played Rangers yesterday. And by the way, if we play Club, God help what the score would have been. And I looked at them and I looked at their actual business and what they had done since they played us last season. Right, they brought in about £70 million in sales. I think some players went EC Milan, some players went England, whatever. Invested £30 million before this playoff. Now I'm not expecting Celtic to even invest probably half of that. But see, why can Celtic not invest £15 million before a Champions League playoff when there's £40 million in the line? You've already got about 80, 90 million pound in the bank as we continue to get told every single AGM and every single, you know, financial thing or whatever. So why not try? But the thing is, they want every single last penny. They want to do the bare minimum because they don't care what we do when we get past this stage. They just care if we get in, and we're in danger of not getting in and falling again at the playoff stage. Alistair, the performance it was set from the get go. You know, no new signings to look forward to in the squad. You know, I've had maybe links today with Barquisha and Stengs and whatever else. It's too late. It's too late. We should have had our targets, our main targets, in the positions that really need them. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the window, Alistair, you can sign players that maybe a backup left back. Fine. But see the wingers, they should have been in 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, so we could register them for this game. But no, we're sitting hanging on James Forrest, who was puffing at his arse in about 30 minutes, half an hour. Alistair, I'm sorry, it's not acceptable.
No, it's no, pal. And see, to be honest, if you're relying the winger that we started was past it. Five. You see that in the game, we all agreed. No, it was Nathan that said Forrest was done 3 years ago. I would say it was done 5 years ago, to be honest. But I will say this. If you're relying on a player, let's not forget Yang wanted to go to Norwich and you're having to rely on him to try and dig out a hole. And yeah, it started well for the first 10 minutes, but then they worked him out. That's
But
what happened.
what I'll also say about Yang is the rest of them just weren't doing anything. And that's what Nathan said. He made a good point. I actually feel sorry for the players who we know aren't good enough. Yang, we know is not good enough. So why is he constantly being put in that position? Because we've got nobody else.
Yeah, I know.
So there becomes a point where you go, right, how many times do they make say Yang's rubbish? How many times? There becomes a point you go to that, right, we know there's no point keep saying players are rubbish. We know. I think, Nathan, you said the opening 5 minutes, why we starting like 40, and I'm like, we already know this, unfortunately.
I know, I said the full week, I said we should be starting Yang, because I even seen it the weekend, to be honest. I say weekend, midweek, I thought when Yang came on, he made the run for the goal, he was pretty positive when he came on, dribbling past, but even the day when he came on, he was our best player, and that's saying something. He should probably be man of the match, if we're being honest, in a Celtic point of view, and that's surely bad, but, like, and it's like saying, it's like one about Adam Ida, about his first touch. There's no point, because we all know his first touch is like an elephant, so there's things as his supporters know.
He's
but
he's digressed massively.
No, I wouldn't even say digressed. I would say he just had a purple patch when he was here, but then he got found out for being just not a good player. He's not a good footballer. He might be a good finisher, but as a footballer, my God, he's terrible.
No, it was.
I disagree.
And I don't think it was. It wasn't even his worst. I think he tried to do. We tried. He done what we've been saying for weeks. He had to do, try and hold the ball up, but he's just always saying, but he doesn't look. Well, how many games into the season he's not scored a goal? He's meant to be striker.
You want a striker to get a chance, and you want them to know it's going to be in the net. If the ball falls to Ida, it's 6.5 a dozen. You don't know if it's going in the net or going fucking over the bar.
The problem is now we've not even got the wingers to get the ball to Ida, so that's another problem there.
I know.
But it was.
On you go, mate.
No, I was just going to say it's just. And you're looking at players like James Forrest. They're not going to bail you out. They're not going to bail you out. We're past the stage of James Forrest bailing us out. That was about 2018.
Do you know what the most sobering thing is for me? What happened to Alistair Johnson tonight? Pulled a hamstring. Nobody near him, and that could happen to Tierney. Where's the depth?
By the way, I think it was Nathan that said at the game as well. We ended 2025 Champions League qualifier playoff round, by the way. Sitting there on the right hand side of Anthony Ralston and James Forrest.
Yep.
I mean, fucking hell.
And you had Liam Scales and Yang in the park.
You had Liam Scales, Yang. It's not acceptable.
I thought Scales was better than Vickers, actually.
I thought Scales kept us in the game at points.
Vickers was awful.
And the fact we're even saying that, and by the way, I'm actually going to say it before we go and rant about everything else, because I think it's fair. Credit to Kairat, because they came here with a game plan. We knew what their game plan was going to be, and it transpired.
And let's be honest, who else thought when the guy tried to chip Schmeichel, who else thought it was in?
I honestly thought towards the end we were going to concede and it's going to be a 1-0 defeat.
Michael really showing why he had to lose weight, man, because that boy couldn't move backwards.
And we're lucky. They were going away with a point. Or not a point, it's just a draw. In the second leg. It's not acceptable. Alistair, when I came out the ground, I was talking to Nathan, we're talking about Thingway. What do you think these two are thinking? That actually comes up on the screen. What do you think these two are thinking? Do you think they care? Do you think they care? The guy on the left certainly doesn't. He looks like he's thinking about what he's going to have for his dinner.
I don't
think Michael Nicholson cares either.
I'll be honest. They look like Siamese twins. Look at hand over the mouth. They don't care the way we care. I mean, see, to be honest, they were apathy all around the ground. And people on my way out the ground were blaming Rodgers. Can you? I
Oh,
don't think
he does. I mean, some of the blame.
Yeah,
As
he
well.
takes blame, but
We'll go on to him in a minute, but at the end of the day, I've been clear about this, and I've been clear about this for years. The buck stops at the chairman and whoever else is in power at this club. Dermot Desmond's nowhere to be seen, so these are the next two in power.
Yeah.
And Chris Mackay's not in that fault. He's another one. I'm done. I am finished. Because yet again, it's inept. Give your money for your season ticket. Give me the money for the season ticket. Give me the money for the Champions League package. Give me the money. We are the only club in Europe where the quality of the product goes down while the price of it goes up. How the fuck do you work that one out? And do you know what? And I said this at the start of the window. Do you know what? Do you know what the most annoying thing is? It's the fact that we done well in Europe last season. You think, right, build on this. And yet again, because Lawwell and Nicholson aren't getting enough attention, let's make it all about us.
Yep.
And know about the team. And the fans are yet to suffer again because they could not give a flying fuck about us and about the players and about the manager. And see if people don't like that and still trying to fuck off. I'm sorry. And opposition fans might go on and laugh, but this had to be said. It's not acceptable. I'm sorry. Getting into a Champions League qualifier when you've lost a winger, right?
Honest, the hand-picked best tie.
Aye, best tie we probably could have got, and you go into that tie with Nicholas Kuhn without him, who was an integral part of your season last season. We have not replaced the best striker that some say since Larson and Kyogo, and we think it's acceptable to go into a Champions League qualifier in that state with James Forrest. And
I have never, and I'm older than you guys, I have never seen it as weak a forward line in my life. And I've seen some bad forward lines, but this is inept.
it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And that's what it says on the title there. It's not acceptable, Nathan. And fans, people turn around and go, how can you moan when we're winning all the trophies, which is great. But each club have got a different potential level where they can reach. Celtic can reach could be a consistent Champions League team if we could be bothered. But the problem is, Nathan, they can't be bothered. We're a bank.
Nah, I genuinely think the issue comes from the entitledness of the Celtic board. Because think of it like this, right? We really shouldn't have lost any titles throughout those years. Rangers won in the league. We really shouldn't have lost any of the cups. Like, that's the thing, is even at our worst, we still won. Like, you think of it like this. There's a reason why Celtic got Ronnie Deila. There's a reason why we go for the cheap option, because as you've said all the time, like they need to keep Rangers in it, because I'm convinced that Lawwell's a sneakily a hunt, to be honest. But all we're doing is keeping Rangers just in the wee island so that they're not too far away from us. But my God, I mean, you sell a player for 19 million and you don't replace him. It's like, see if I went on to Football Manager and went, oh, I need a player, then I can look like, I do more scouting on Football Manager, right, than what our Celtic scouts do. Going to say, looking at Jamie Vardy, I could log on to Football Manager and I could just look at Jamie Vardy and I know what I'm getting. It doesn't solve a problem. Terrible. It's so bad.
I'll let you away with that H word.
It's midnight.
I don't think.
But Alistair, and I want your honest opinion on this, right? Do you think they care?
No.
Do you think they care?
No, I
Do you think sitting around Celtic Park when Michael Nicholson's getting told to get to, and what sack the bold chance, didn't they care? Because at the end of the day,
They clearly don't.
we've
They
got your money.
Clearly don't. They've got your money. And that's all they care about. But that'll only get you so far. I guarantee you that if we go out next week, and it is an if, because if you want me to be honest, I still think it's a 50-50 tie, because I don't think there's much in it. But it never should be. It should have been dead tonight, and the fact is, we only had one shot on target.
When was that one shot?
I know.
One that hit the post.
Um,
Because he did touch it on the post. Seen it in the replay. So
You're a brave man for watching the replay anyway, because
I know, fucks.
I
there's not much to see.
I just had to check it. But
I don't even know, because and I just think fans are at a point where they're like, what is the point in investing and buying season tickets? And because we buy season tickets because we want to go and watch Celtic, but you can't, as you said, Alistair, you can't bank on that for ages. Our potential as a club, in terms of a European standpoint, has been shocking. And I'm sorry to say, it's been shocking since Peter Lawwell first walked in the doors at Celtic Football Club back in 2001, 2004 was it? So was it the summer of 2004?
Yeah, it was the year after Seville, so yeah.
So when I was 2 months old, when he walked in at that fucking door, and that just, it goes to show I'm 22.
I know.
21, sorry. Right, I'm 21. It's been a long night.
22nd year.
Right. So I was born 2004. I have not seen Celtic win a European knockout tie in my life.
You have.
When did we win a European knockout tie?
You won't.
Shut up.
That's when Josh was conceived the night we beat Barcelona.
No, but and this is for me. This is at the point of gut rot. But I was still on the tie, great. But come on, man, a team that was doing well in the Alliance in April or February, sorry, to join 0-0 with Kairat.
We lost one player, by the way.
Aye, and it's that's no disrespect to Kairat or Mate, because they've came and got a good result. But we're Celtic Football Club. Come on.
What does that mean in today's day and age?
If you're Kairat, you're probably raging. You should have won.
Aye, they probably should have won. Because we were just, I mean, it was off.
It was walking pace.
And is that, and I said this, I think I said this in a few, I worry what when Brendan Rodgers leaves this club, and I think we could be looking at it pretty soon. I don't think he could get to the end of the season, because I think
it could be next week.
And the thing is, would you blame him?
No, I don't want to, to be honest, because it shows that if he walks out this time, it's no Brendan. It's we all know where the problem lies, and it'd probably be the best for the club if Brendan was to walk.
I don't think he'll walk out, and here's my only reason why. I think he'll think, no, I'm not giving you the satisfaction.
Right.
I'll go at the end of my contract and I will tell all, because if he leaves, he's going to sign a non-disclosure agreement and nothing will come out. Whereas if he walks out at the end, he'll tell all, because he'll know it'll be his last time back at the club. So he'll be able to tell you what happened. Because he actually said tonight, in fair play to Celtic here for posting it, this actually said, I would love to tell you what goes on behind the scenes. So it's coming.
I mean, it's
The mind
and
boggles.
aye, and you've been saying for weeks it will take a bad result in the league or in Europe for the people who I don't know how, but still were holding out for this mad hope that we would get quality in the right time, and here it is.
Well, if the Barclays deal is hanging by a thread at the moment, because if we don't go through next week, we're getting nobody in. Nobody.
And I believe that. There's rumours going about lists, and I believe it. It's just ridiculous. We're the only club in Europe that operates like this, and it's done, and I think fans are just had enough. It's not acceptable. Celtic. I'm not expecting Celtic to go and win the fucking Champions League, but I'm expecting us to be a force. Try our hardest in the competition. No, be drawn with Kazakhstani champions at home. No disrespect at all.
Maybe if you battered them and the goalkeeper had a loyalty, but we hardly created a chance.
Goalkeeper could have sat with a deck chair.
Two goalkeepers could have sat with a deck chair.
With his feet up, nice wee paper, a wee pint maybe.
113
nice.
minutes we had. That's how long the game was. 113 minutes. 3 minutes in the first half and 10 in the second. Did we end? No.
Aye, it was shambolic. I think we have to go into the manager as well because I think the main buck stops, and I think the main blame goes towards the board because they put the manager in this situation. Aye, and they've not given them the tools like most other clubs or ambitious clubs in Europe, like Club Brugge. I keep using them as an example because I watched them against Rangers, looked like a really good side, and that's when I look and go at we could be like that. A strong competitive side in Europe who qualify for the Champions League most times out of not, and then we compete and try and get results like we did last season. Why can that not be? I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, if Celtic wanted to, there might be 1 point, Nathan, where you do get a freak result. That happens, of course it does. But the fact they're not getting the tools, or the manager's not given, and it's not even just Brendan, Ange, Lennon. Nobody was. You don't.
The manager's never been the problem.
Aye, exactly. So I just. It's Nathan, Celtic just going to go adrift in Europe, and I think even if we do qualify next week, I'm sorry, it still doesn't just answer all my questions because you need to look beyond it.
I've been sitting listening to you talking, right, and you say a club like a club like Celtic and swaying the Champions League and all that. We don't do it. We're not any of those things in the first place. We are not as big as we think we are if we act like this. A big club in terms of a name and a badge, that's it. It stops there. A name and a badge, and that stops.
And fan base.
Aye, although the fan base goes without saying, but as for Brendan, I did get my Twitter fingers out when I came back, well, my TikTok comment, because I seen his post-match press conference on TikTok, and it was him saying, "Oh, usually if they chant sack the board, it means sack the manager." And I did get annoyed at it because he had the cheek to sit there and smile after that, because ultimately, if it's the board's fault, then aye, it is. But Brendan, that's rude. Don't sit there and laugh because I had to watch that.
Because to be honest with you, Nathan, and this is what I think. I think he's like us. He can't. I don't think he cares because, and this is the thing. This is the whole ambition thing. You could appoint Pep Guardiola at Celtic tomorrow, and he would get pissed off. There was a reason why Ange Postecoglou get pissed off. Don't get me wrong, Tottenham was probably a good proposition for him, but at the same time, if you're trying to be ambitious and the people up there are like, can I sign this player? No. Can I sign that player? No. Can I sign this? you get to the point where, right, well, why? I'll just do my job and then no
I
really
even
care.
try.
And it's sad. It is because Brendan Rodgers is he's a guy who's motivated to do the best. And I think the problem, I think Brendan Rodgers is just like, I can't be asked for this anymore
He's
because he was,
resigned. He's
aye,
resigned to his fate.
he was resigned. And there was a picture on the touchline of him, and he just looked like
He
he
shook his
looked
head
done.
there.
He looked done. He just looked finished, and it is a shame. In terms of the manager, I do at this you can talk about signings as well and don't have the tools, but the style of play, right? I don't know what the plan was.
Or no plan. I mean, I find it funny as well, right? Because we talk about, obviously no signing players, but at the end of the day, look at what the other Kairat's top earner, and that's on. We've got European players in there that play for our country. I mean, my God, Maida's the starting striker for Japan. I mean, for one, you've got Nygren international goals for Sweden. You've got players there like Vickers. Most of the Celtic team are internationals, so that's why I don't buy the excuse because we still should have won the night, even if we've not got the players. But
Aye,
it's all
and
well and good one about it.
and Alistair, I don't think we're
I
not
know
trying.
that's. No, I was
Well,
just
no,
going
I
to
was going
say
to say, I think we're not hanging me of the blame, or but Rogers does need to come in for questions as well. There was points, and it was constant. It was just side to side, and that's not a player issue. That's tactical.
horseshoe. But what I will say, Josh, a result, guys, a result of this was always coming. It was in the post.
Aye,
We're actually lucky not to be chasing the tie next week. So we're actually lucky to be level going over there. So, but there's well a 1-0 win next week. Heal all the good things. No, it won't.
but it
It
will
won't.
for some of our fan base, unfortunately.
No, it
It
won't.
will. No, it will
It won't.
though, and
There's
that's
too many
that.
happy clappers in the Celtic support. Far too many that, for the lack of a better word, just want to suck off the board and don't actually want to change. It's like you ever watch the like hoarder programs on the telly where somebody just doesn't want to let go of something in the past. That is
Aye,
what a lot of the
Oh,
fans are
no.
like at Celtic. That's
But,
the
aye,
fact.
and
remember when Andrew was here? The common denominator was candidate in Europe plays to open. Goes to Spurs, wins the Europa League,
And still
gets
goes open.
the Champions League.
not won the final. He went defensive, I think, for the first time in his career, to be honest. But
No, but the
um,
point still stands.
no, I know what your point is. To finish up, Nathan, obviously, back to domestic action. Woohoo. And then obviously we go there next week. We're going to need an almighty performance next week with the same team that failed tonight because you can't register any more players.
I think first of all they need to get their finger at their arse on Saturday and actually show why we can score goals. I think they need to, put more than one goal in this time. But as for Wednesday, see, to be honest, Joshua, I couldn't give a flying fuck because realistically, if we get into the Champions League, we are going to get our trousers pulled right down. So I don't want that for the
And
respect to the club.
and that is the issue. That's where our fans are at the moment. And there's one group to blame at Celtic, and that is the board because there's going to these games. There's no ambition, and the fans are just resigned to it now. And it's a real shame, and it is because Celtic could do a lot more in Europe, and we are just held back in our restraint because the board just want a penny pinch and save extra bit of money. Alistair, what was your final thoughts? Obviously, before we wrap up.
I was going to say, I do agree with it in regard we get our pants pulled down, but I just want to go through because I don't want to witness the worst result in Celtic's history. And it would be it would be.
I think that tonight's up there.
No, but I'm talking about over 2 legs, Josh.
Aye. Aye.
I
No.
don't want to embarrass.
We are not beating them in Kazakhstan. God, we won't.
Well, that was my next question. Do you think we will?
No.
Nathan's gave an answer. Alistair?
I'm going to say yes. You get the casting vote, Josh.
I
It's
get a
just
shot on
like-
target at Celtic Park, then my God, what are we going to do over there?
It's just blind faith. Yes, but it's blind faith. And that's
It
the
could be a
problem.
long night. It could be a
It
very
could be a long night. I think we will do it.
We need to
But
do it. There's no ifs.
as what Nathan says, fuck knows what Borussia Dortmund are going to do to us. Barcelona are going to do this if we do get through. Because I genuinely fear a team like Borussia Dortmund. We see what they've done last season. Gerasi, Adeyemi, players like that. I genuinely fear,
double figures.
honestly. So
No, it could be.
I think we will, but I don't know what they'll be able to do over the next 8 to 10 days of having the window shut.
Well, you see when you said 8 to 10 days, Josh, you can half that. We're going to 5 days. Because
And I'd be saying if Celtic have any response to that tonight, Michel Ange is announced by the end of the week, and we've got significant movement on somebody like Calvin Stengs. If they don't, then you know. And I've said this, they know what's coming, and it started, and it began the night. Bold, and if it gets any worse, there'll be people outside at the car park.
Every game's good. I put this on a social media, right? I said games are going to become toxic all season.
No, they became toxic now.
Yeah.
It's not. They will. They have.
But it'll only get worse.
Aye, it only will get worse. But I'm going to wrap it up there. But obviously, a disgraceful performance and just where the club's at the moment, I think is symptomatic, and it's magnified it for people who didn't somehow think that. And by the way, fuck the score predictor. But as we will be back later on in the week. We build up to that game against Livingston on Saturday, if I can be asked, because the board can't be
See you
asked.
next season, Nathan.
And thanks to Nathan for making his one and only season appearance.
Can I just say you've all agreed with me on every point I made, so you know.
Exactly. So maybe you should come back on there.
I'm not getting paid enough.
Oh, shut up. No, but anyway, we'll be back. Me and Alistair will probably be back at some point later in the week.
I'll just do the big games. I'll just do the
build it off big games or whatever.
Big games, aye. What's that? Fucking Cork and the
what did you say?
Cork. But no, we'll be back, as I said, with that build up to Livingston on Saturday. Until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.